come later, so it's better.
Yes.
It's your ass.
Second place in the World Championship, is it a big prize or a deception at the moment?
Look, we're very proud of our efforts, and I think that a silver medal shows how far we've come since the Olympic Games. We came 5th in London, and now since London we've played a number of tournaments. I think 5 in total, and we've made the final of all of them. We won the Champions Challenge. We won the World League 3. We won at the Oceania Cup, silver medal in the World League 4, and now a silver medal here at the World Cup. So it's been a really good 18 months for us, and we were aiming to make the World Cup final. We knew that the world #1 team would be a really difficult one to defeat at that moment, and we expected that the Netherlands would be there. They were a great opponent and a really worthy world champion.
So no real hope before the match?
I think that we knew what we needed to do to create chances against the Dutch. And I think you saw today we were once again able to create chances. To win these matches, you need to take those chances. We had 3 penalty corners. You have to score at least one of them. We had a number of field shots. You hope that one of those go in. If you do, then it becomes scoreboard pressure on the opponent. It becomes a tighter match, and you never know which way it will go. I've seen many good teams feel pressure when the opponent is able to score. And today we were unable to put that scoreboard pressure on. And as I explained to my team afterwards, you're probably not going to generate a huge amount of chances against the side of that quality. But when you do create chances, you must take them. And unfortunately we weren't able to do that in either the pool match or the final.
Questions in English?
Adam, would you approach the match differently now, knowing what you know, having played the match on reflection, or you're happy with the way you
got our tactics right. I think you need to close down the Dutch and limit their time on the ball and put them under pressure. They're a really high quality side, and it's difficult to do that. They're able to move the ball well and use the spaces in the field. I think the key for us is when we win the ball, we need to be able to go quickly at the opponent, but at the same time maintain possession. And it's a skill level, technical issue, as well as tactical. But I think we got our game plan right. I think, as I mentioned, we created chances. It's now just making sure that we capitalise on those chances and put a little bit of pressure back on your opponent.
You also talked about how much you've bridged the gap between yourselves and Dutch girls over the past 2 years. How much further do you feel how wide is the gap?
Look, I think that there is a gap still between the Dutch team and all the other teams in the world. If you look at each match statistically that they play, it's a pretty comprehensive flogging of all of their opponents. And it was always the case with us as well. Indeed, the World League round 4 match, statistically they were far superior. In both games this tournament, we've got within range, where we can say, look, if you put away your chances, you could get a result against them. They're still winning the matches statistically, they're still holding more possession, they're still creating more opportunities. But now it's closer. The gap has been closed. I'm really excited about this group. It's a young group. We've got girls playing in our defence majority of the time that have played less than 50 matches. That have come straight from our Australian Hockey League. We've got a really young forward group, and we've got a number of quality players that are not here either through injury or some really highly talented young players that are probably not ready at this moment, but I think in 2 years' time they'll be really pushing our group to increase the competitiveness. And when you do that, you just see that the level of the squad and the team play will improve with it, and it's something that I'm really looking forward to.
That 2-year mark is obviously the Olympic Games. Rio. Is it a realistic goal to think that you could be #1 in the world for that?
Absolutely. I think that You only have to look at my own career in 2002, won a silver medal behind Germany in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. We were outplayed by Germany that day. Unfortunately, I wasn't part of the group in 2004, but they won gold at that tournament. And the progression that the Kookaburras made at that time, I think we are able to emulate that with the Honduras. I think that it will be a tough ask and a really difficult ask if you're looking at the Dutch side that have won the last 2 Junior World Cups. They obviously have a large pool of talent coming through, and they've got a good group of coaching staff that are able to get the best out of that talent and mould the team and the squad, not just 18 players. So it will be difficult, but I think that it's not unsurmountable.
Looking forward to the next challenge, the Commonwealth Games. One question would be the favourites going to Glasgow. How would you approach that challenge of being favourites, and also how do you feel like this tournament's prepared you for another hard slot?
Yeah, I think the Commonwealth Games is an important tournament for us, and we will take a very similar group there. We rightly should be favourites for that tournament, but I don't underestimate our opponents. In the women's side of the Commonwealth Games, I think there's some really high quality teams. New Zealand, we've seen come 5th here. They're ranked just below us. England are a side that probably haven't performed up to their potential at the World Cup, and they'll be determined to turn it around. And South Africa are already a really dangerous side, and it is a different scenario coming into the tournament as favourites. I think the last Commonwealth Games, the team really ground out victories. I'd hope to be able to go and play a brand of hockey where we can really look to dominate our opposition. But we'll certainly need to have taken a step up from what we've done here. It's not a matter of just trying to maintain, it's about improving, and it's something that our group has been really determined to do over the last 2 years, and they'll be even more determined to do it at the Commonwealth Games.
Any more questions?
Is it good for hockey that one nation is so dominant?
I think that in any sport, and there are eras where nations dominate, and I think what that allows is for the other nations to work hard on improving and lifting the level of their own game. I think what is fantastic about the Dutch women's team is the level of skill and athleticism that they show, and it gives us a benchmark to move to. Now, the Hockey Roos did that for 8 or 9 years in the 2000s, and they're no longer at the pinnacle. What that did was it forced the other nations to have a good think about their women's programs, make it more professional, work harder, and now you have probably 8 or 9, 10 nations that work really hard with really highly professional outfits, and you see here that every game is really competitive. Whilst the Dutch are the benchmark at the moment, 4 years ago, Argentina won the World Cup, and they probably had a golden era there. So whilst they are currently the pinnacle, I think that there will always be ebbs and flows and waves, and hopefully one day the Hockey Roos are able to get back to where we believe they should be.
Any more? Thanks very much for coming. Compliments to the group.
Thanks, Alan.